The festival is nigh!
We will go ahead and get this match started. Rambler versus Helios, a matchup of two heavy hitters. Ratty, center square.
Kaled bosses. Five Kaled bosses.
Give me Dung Eater.
Oh.
Crimson Cerulean Viridian Medallion is the center square. So that means that could affect your starting class option. You probably want to start with the Crimson Amber Medallion because that is another starting class option for you.
You do have two Black Knight Assassins as well, if you wanted to go Crimson Dagger Talisman and Cerulean Dagger Talisman.
That would pair nicely with the Catacomb Square. In terms of early stuff, honestly, I think this is a board that Rambler is going to be happy with because the early rush is not super dominant. There are things such as Margit parries, Restore Millicent's Needle, potentially two Knight's Calves, right? So there's still some early squares, but there's not the Tree Sentinel +0, Agil +0, Millicent Invader, Torrent only, Cracked Pots, like these super optimized early rushes. I know Rambler does not want to see those on his board against Helios, and they're not here. The earliest square possible is definitely either Margit parries or Box Needle. But yeah, it looks like it should be an interesting board here.
Yeah, there's a lot of synergistic openings. You got 5 horse bosses, so justifying 2 Knight's Calves isn't super hard. With 3 Catacombs, justifying going like Duelists, Assassins into Cerulean Crimson Viridian is like on the board. Or unique status effects, Ash of Wars also could push you towards Knight's Cav with the Knight's Cav and Liurnia. But interesting start available here. Off rip, my instinct is I like going for the middle square with Assassins, but with 6 Liurnia bosses, 2 Knight's Calves, 5 horse bosses on the board, pushing there earlier might set you up better for later in the game.
Yeah, I don't hate the idea. I think potentially just starting off with Margit parries is actually a decent idea. There's Tree Spirits, you prep for that. It also just is like good money.
Yeah. I'm also counting 7 Altus squares on the board.
Yeah, I do think this is an Altus early square. Maybe because of that, you look at something like Bloodhound Knight while summoning Blide, because you can get that square while progressing towards Fort Height. Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is a very interesting one.
Several different pathways. We could see them diverging from each other early.
Yeah.
It's always hard to evaluate what the best decision is. It always depends on what your opponent does as well. And these two, very high level. So I'm curious to see how they evaluate this early game and what they choose to do.
They both chose the same starting class, starting with the Gargoyles, the Gargoyle Blade, Gargoyle Greatsword. Yeah, it is difficult because there is Dung Eater for capital, but there's not a lot of capital. There's Gargs for Radon, but not a lot of that. The main synergy is Altus. Like this kind of might just be a rush Altus board.
Yeah. Like being able to get Altus early and just take advantage of that will be really powerful. Although sacking some of these early game ideas could be rough.
Yeah. The early game doesn't seem that bad though.
It's not bad. I'm just in terms of getting ahead in synergy on horse bosses or some of those other squares. Lets you build a little more pressure early, but very likely between these two, that's not really going to be relevant. They're not going to feel like if someone gets 2 or 3 squares in the early game, that's going to make them nervous if they decide they want to push Altus early.
Yeah, not at all.
Which can be a difficult thing. I think something people struggle with in bingo is like, I want to get the early squares so I take a lead because then I'm up 2-0, 3-0. But being up in square count does not put you in the lead of a game whatsoever.
And actually, as the bets are closing here, Rambler's gonna close as the favorite.
We have some bad bettors in the chat.
Yeah, Rambler, 64% of the money is on a Rambler here. He closes as the favorite for this one.
It is a close match. I think every match is pretty much 50-50 in this league, but I do give an edge to Helios here.
Yeah. Well,
Granted, I watch him more.
Rambler gave himself 25% odds, so.
Okay, well, no, I feel better about saying that.
I mean, we're not non-biased. Like, we're not. There's a difference between not biased and looking at the game objectively, right?
Yeah.
It's one thing to be like, yeah, someone's a favorite.
I'm definitely biased in favor of the Rambler win. I want all the records to be as close as possible. Yeah. But I think objectively, most people would give Helios a slight edge. But it's very close.
I want everyone to finish the season at 4-4, and then everyone makes playoffs, and we just have a massive, it's just a single elimination tournament. Because every single person finishes 4-4. Looks like they're both going for Bloodhound. Wow, actually both going Bloodhound Knight while summoning Blide.
Yep.
Because they both see it as an Altus board.
Yeah.
So this is one of the few squares that allows you to get progress while going towards Fort Height.
Looks like Helios will have a slight lead here on that run.
Helios is so goddamn smart. Helios is going for Bloodhound Knight while summoning Blide using the Aguil Lake South.
Interesting. So this is something I don't know if we've seen yet in a Golden Order game.
Yeah. So
but you cannot get Torrent here. You do not have to run to where you normally talk to Melina, Gatefront, or Aguil Lake North. If you run south towards, the Bloodhound Knight Everjail, you can grab I believe it's called Lakeside Site of Grace here by Yura, and then if you grab Aguil Lake South, you will spawn in Melina.
Yeah, you have to grab a total of 3 Graces though. So you cannot just go straight from first step to Aguil Lake South. You have to grab a total of 3 Graces. This is very heads up by Helios.
Yeah, it's there's been debate about whether it's actually faster. I'm curious to see how this goes. It definitely looks like it is.
It's definitely faster in the short term. And like, this is the difference between these two. Rambler tends to take, I'm sure Rambler might have considered this.
Yeah.
But like, Rambler always tends to play more conservative because he's thinking long term. He's like, I have no north limgrave progression. Why would I ever, do that type of routing? While Helios is a bit more like C square gets square. As well, a very smart tactical player, but his early game philosophy is a bit more C square get square, while Rambler is always very focused on the late game, even in the early game.
And Rambler maybe even really playing into what you're saying there by progressing even farther beyond Gatefront, saying, I want this square, like I killed Kale, but worst comes to worst, I'm going to get map progression, and like, if he does take it from me, I'll still have probably Fort Height in the Dectus, and then be way ahead in the other direction, which I really like.
Well, I think also what Rambler knows he's not going to win a rush square against Helios, right? Like, if they both go for the same square, Rambler knows that he's very likely to lose that. So as a result, he kind of plays around it and will starts prepping even in the prepping 2 options even in the early game, right?
Yeah, he's already going to set up, I would imagine, the Bell-Bearing Hunter Grace at Bernal and then Death Touched as well. Maybe running all the way around through Third Church to Fort Height, which honestly is
this a Third Church board?
No, but I would imagine it's faster if you're all the way at Death Touched.
Yeah.
It would be close. I'd have to time it out, but might as well. You do have Duelists, so getting Third Church isn't a terrible idea. It's never a bad idea to have the Physic Flask in case you do find a weapon.
No, he's doing Margaret Parry. Okay, so this is what the idea was. It was kill Kale, so you have a lead on Bloodhound Knight while summoning Blide if it comes down to it, and then prep Margaret Parries. Okay,
that's a lot better.
Yeah, that was the idea.
I like that a lot better. Forgot about Margaret with 6 parries down there, but that is...
I like that square a lot, just because it, there is Sem Shades and its economy, right? If it comes down to it in the late game, you do have Dung Eater on the board.
Yep.
I think there's a lot of things to like about it. Helios is going into Bloodhound Knight while summoning Blide.
See here how the Gargoyle Sword is. Oh yeah. It's plenty of damage, especially if Blide actually decides to get involved. Which is kind of hit or miss, but he's one of the few summons in the game that reasonably helps a lot.
Yeah, because he just destroys Darrowell. Like he gets stunned every time he gets hit. Rambler doing Greatsword check. It is Darkmoon Greatsword. If there's ever 30 int on the board, Darkmoon Greatsword could come into play.
Bless you.
Dude.
Oh,
so
Helios.
washed.
Dying to the Bloodhound Knight as Blythe just sits and watches. Like, this can be a very easy fight, but I think a lot of us just rely on Blythe getting involved and send it, trying to make it go fast.
Also, like, Jesus Christ, I'm washed.
Yeah, just a little unlucky there. Probably expecting Blythe to get involved at some point, but I guess he didn't want to.
The fact that you thought I sneezed was hilarious.
How to fight boss.
I have no idea what that noise was.
I gasped. That's what that noise was.
Ah. No, it sounded like you sneezed, brother.
Okay, that was just my PC being weird. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was.
Rambler's setting up everything. He's also setting up Box Needle too.
This, I don't know. Jesus, he's so fast, dude.
I mean, yeah, he has no idea what quite is going on right now, I imagine.
And also keep in mind, Helios doesn't even have gate front.
Great hitbox.
And there's Will down. Yeah, he's got to run. Thankfully, he has Torrent, but he does have to go from first step all the way to gate front. Well, we could have gone from Church of Kale.
There we go.
You see Rambler making his way.
Seems like he expected it.
Yeah, I can't imagine Rambler's too concerned.
You just said it was just there we go. So if anything, I think what Rambler meant by there we go was took you long enough.
Yeah. Rambler will have a good shot at getting both Box Needle and Margit with 6 parries here if he wants.
Yeah, he can. He has a good shot at everything. Helios is going straight. He's not even progressing north in Limgrave too. He's just going straight to Caelid.
Yep. Straight.
Now this is medium shield parries, so the window is a lot tighter.
Ooh.
Oh, medium parry.
A little early on that parry.
There we go.
With these medium parries, but they are tough. If you don't stay in practice with them, they're very awkward.
You just had to get the feel for it.
Yeah.
He's at 3.
And medium
4.
parries, realistically a recent thing that people have committed to doing. I do remember before the season, it was a little bit more of like a crackpot thing to do, whereas it's 100% the meta, and there's 6 parries for Rambler.
Yep. So now he still has almost full health and 3 flasks, and he just needs to take down Margit here. No more parries required.
With a great sword as well.
Yeah, Gorill's
raise damage.
is a good opening weapon. Has vacuum slice on it, which is like budget Taker's Flame.
Yeah, a little extra range, right? Very clean fight so far from Rambler.
No!
And there's the
Fuck
Caster's
me!
Curse.
I rolled that!
My bad, Rambler. My bad.
Why? Why?
Hey, it
He
happens
didn't
to the
grab the
best of us.
grace either. Wait, Rambler didn't grab a grace? What?
Yeah, that's weird behavior. Uncharacteristic death, but even more uncharacteristic not grabbing the grace in case you die from Rambler.
Helios is now going for Millicent's Needle here.
Interesting. Not a huge fan of this square. When it was just kill Commander O'Neill, very fast, easy square to get. Early game Needle feels just like quite a time sink. I'm almost always willing to sell this for map progression, and then eventually just come back to it if it's still on the board. But, you know, people value it differently. You do get a halberd check here. Can just, I mean, not win the game, but you can get a pretty good weapon advantage off of B-Halb. And we're back into it, already at 2 parries.
The statisticians tell me that's the first Margit death of the Golden Order.
Oh my.
Helios is babooshing.
Parries.
Fuck me.
Five. There's 6. Come on, Ramble, go.
Thanks, Shaka.
And this time, a couple more charged attacks out of Rambler, which I like a lot in this fight, just to get the riposte. Probably more damage efficient initially to be going for tap R2s, but I think with enough ripostes, this is the much cleaner way to do the fight. Managing to space the almost undodgeable attack there.
Oh, good RNG.
Both at very low health. It's going to be close. That should be it.
Okay,
There we go. Uncharacter early incidents from both players there.
Target, that's fine.
Helios just finishing up O'Neal there. Spirit Glaive.
We have acquired a Spirit Glaive.
It is a somber weapon.
It's the best thing you can say about it.
About the only thing I can say about it. I don't think I've ever used it. I know it's not great, so that probably will not be a factor in this match.
Saitari will not be happy to hear that.
No,
His favorite weapon.
it's bad. Great Sword's better.
I'll upload a run to YouTube. I use Spirit Glaive because Ratty Rice said it was bad.
Helios now heading for Soar Seal and Deck Disc. Gets a little unlucky here on the skip.
Helios is moving his water bottle and recentering himself.
Got to get the environment right, you know?
Yeah. What is he? What?
Full modified version of the skip there. I'm listening on him. He's like,
table. Sort of
here
Milos
comes the
is
Helios pick.
Milos is a weird weapon, but a viable one. Rambler chooses not to go with it though.
You can always go back for it, right?
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to spin the runes yet when you haven't been to Liurnia, unless you're planning on not heading that direction for a while. Sort of Milo's definitely like a usable weapon, but not great.
Rambler now gonna go for Box Needle.
I like that play. Start building something
I mean, he
early.
kind of has row 4 or column 4 a little prepped.
Yeah.
Because he has Box Needle and he already has a Grace at 1 Black Knife Assassin. It'd be very uncharacteristic, but this would be the spot where it's like, hey, if I'm gonna bust out a bingo that I don't normally go for.
I mean, if he sees Millicent's Needle, it could happen.
Yeah, because Rambler very rarely goes for... Well, I'll say this. It's not that he rarely goes for bingos. It's that he rarely goes for bingos without shutting down the board first.
Yeah.
Right? Like...
And Helios just a little lost looking for the way down here. And he'll have Millicent's Needle here in about a minute or so.
This is the
Rambler.
one square Helios like doesn't know how to do very well, and I don't know why he always goes for it. I think I've seen... This is like the second or third time we've seen him go for it this season. Alright, Rambler is going for the Demi-Human Chiefs on Box Needle.
Vacuum Slice should be pretty helpful here. Kind of annoying to get surrounded by all the little minions as well as both the chiefs, just having some range to back up and let
There's the E-spawn coming through the door to help. Oh, Rambo accidentally pissed off the second chief.
That happens
This
sometimes.
is not going well.
Oh. That is unfortunate.
All right, Helios will get Millicent's needle here.
I would rather. Would you mind? Well,
All right.
And is Helios finally gonna go? Nope. Gil Lake South.
He's going
Here it
Knights
is, real.
Cavs. So I think he's gonna go Weeping. Yeah, he's going Weeping for Knights Cavs.
He's gonna be able to get it fast here, but this could end up being a mistake. Most likely not, I think, because he has the leading Kaled as well. This should be fine.
Ginger's taking a pot shot, asking if this is a Crucible Knight.
A lot of unexpected deaths. Hey, no one plays perfect all the time.
Yeah.
Especially early game. I think we're so used to seeing people just slam shit out that you're like, oh, they should just be able to go get these squares and like they just have to be fast. But no, people can die.
All right, there's the first chief down. Well, you know, just look, the other competitor, you guys, hey, I get it. You boys are competitive. Someone makes a mistake, and all of a sudden, you're licking your
They're
chops.
bad.
Yeah.
Rambler being nice and careful now. Pulling all
Helios
the
gonna do a
little
little
minions.
hammer check here. Gets Vare's bouquet, clearly an S tier weapon.
Yeah, does a lot of bleed.
Yep.
Does no physical damage, but who needs it? Well, unlucky heal there. Just got clipped by the knives
Yeah.
for Rambler.
Helios checking the merchant, nothing there still. The best weapon I've seen so far, if you're not going smithing, is sort of Milos.
Yeah,
Well, I guess Darkmoon Greatsword, but yeah, that's not it.
There we
that's
go.
not on the board, unfortunately.
All right, Rambler gets that down. Helios is now going 4 Knights Cavs.
This is not the damage I wanted.
And hopefully Rambler doesn't think he can go Knights Cavs. I would love to see him just start pushing into Liurnia or Kaled.
I don't know why I'm charge R2ing like this is a poise boss, but it's working.
You know, 2 Knights Cavs is a fast square, but without status effects, it's not incredibly quick. This is going to take Helios a minute.
Alright, Rambler does get Box Needle here.
As he does that, Helios has the first Knights Cav on the ground. That'll speed things up pretty quick here, and that is 1. 1 horse boss as well,
Box needle.
taking an
Thanks
early
for the
lead on
luck
that
leech.
square. And Rambler is, it looks like, heading to Liurnia, as we'll have Helios finishing this up. Also grabbing a Crimson Medallion, almost TP'd out. Or... nope, just the smithing stones. Interesting. A level 2 sword online for Helios, just a little faster here in terms of fights.
Rambler doing his patented Liurnia skip.
Yep. Not a big believer in skips, Rambler.
Nope.
Not a huge fan of that.
Oh, it's the skip.
Skip the skip.
It's so weird. Helios has not been to Liurnia yet, which is very weird.
It's weird seeing him grab this grace now for the first time 20
Yes.
minutes in.
Yeah.
When we're 2-2.
He hasn't
that
even
was
been
not
up
a
to
big deal.
Stormhill yet.
No. He did go to Kaled, though.
Yeah.
Means he's pretty close on being able to get to Altus. He still has to run all the way to the lift, obviously, but I would almost say they're equally close because Rambler has to go get both halves. And now the second Knights Cavs fight here for Helios. A little beefier, but
Hey, this damage is a lot better.
those weapon upgrades kind of showing up. An extra maybe 14 damage a hit, but across, 10, 20 hits. Useful enough. Being a pretty friendly Knights Cavs here. Sometimes this one likes to run away. He can jump off the bridge into the lake and survive.
Yeah, I've had to chase him down there before.
But this guy just wants to stay in the middle and square up. But that'll make this fight quite a bit faster. Horse is down. Knights Cav is going to get meat checked, and there it is.
Meat check.
Meat check.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid he would do.
Helios also grabbing the Somber 1 right there. Pretty free pickup. Saving a little money down the line here, probably.
Rambler's not happy with that. Just trash halberd.
Oh, yeah, that is...
I think Milos is the way, man. I think Milos is weird. It feels like crap because it's a great sword that you just R1 spam with. But even though they don't break poise, like R1s for most weapons, like R1s have really good actual damage, even though there's no stance breaks, and it has bleed on it, as well as the debuff. Like, it's actually a pretty good weapon. You just don't really get staggers, and it feels weird, but it is good.
Yeah, you can jump attack with it in the larger openings, which is more poise than a heavy attack, less than a charge attack, but you can get some poise abuse in there somewhat, usually at least 1 or 2 staggers in a fight.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is just great sword with bleed, right?
Yeah, right. Like, the damage output is good enough that it's for sure a usable bingo weapon. With Valiant Gargs on the board, though, you may be looking for something to pivot into if you get late game. It's going to be really bad there.
It's like Rambler's going for the Black Knives. Is Rambler really gonna brush a bingo?
I mean, 20 minutes in, you see Millicent's Needle, Bloodhound Knight, 2 Knights Calves. You can make an educated guess that's probably not the Liurnia Knights Cav.
Yeah. Rambler gets Oreblade.
Oreblade's huge.
I mean, I think the reason why Rambler does this is because he could be worried about the Diag potentially, right? Black Knives, and this makes progress towards Black Knife and Crimson Cerulean Viridian, as well as, I guess, Catacombs. So, I mean, this makes sense. Helios kills the strong play Knight for Bloody Slash. And a Katana check, actually.
Yeah. It's a Death Touch is just, if you can justify going there, I always find it hard not to. I'll set it up early even just to get the Katana check out of the way in case my opponent does it.
Alright, so Helios is going to get height Dactus.
He's right next to Feroth. He's going to set that up as well. This is the worry about the assassin play out of Rambler. Maybe he's just doing it to take prio. Maybe he's not going to push it, right? But he is going to end up being behind on the Altus race. Granted, Helios still needs to find a weapon. He really has nothing to use.
Could look to, if he really is dead set on this Liurnia Force Bosses thing. Like, I mean, going Virgins for Altus bosses or Makar is not horrible.
Yeah. Makar will get you a Liurnia boss, obviously.
Yeah.
Virgin's getting you the Altus boss.
Because there's also nothing in... Is there anything in Dragon Barrow I'm missing? I mean, like Memory of Grace for 50k with the Dragon Barrow avatar. Or like Peeler.
Yeah. No twin blade check.
No. So like, I mean, I actually don't think it's a... Does Radahn even need to die this game? Like, not really.
No. I mean it's not a bad move.
RL60 is kind of a Dragon Barrow square.
Yeah. You're probably going to want Putrid Avatar.
Yeah, it's hard to get RL60 without all those big runes in Dragon Barrow.
Yeah.
Alright, that's full Dectus for Helios. Gargs is on the board for Radahn.
That's about it, though.
Yeah.
realistically. Horse boss, I guess. You can go if Memory of Grace 50k is up here still. Like, that is a very easy way to do that and still get levels out of it, which is nice.
If anyone ever actually does the Putrid Tree Spirit after Radon, there's just no way. There's just no way. It'll never happen. It takes so long. Even if you have Radon dead, going Fringe Folk is better.
Yep. So there is 2 tree spirits, but that tree spirit in the back of Radon's arena is a haul.
He's so tanky. He is so absurdly tanky.
Helios
he's
finally
Dragon
maybe
Barrow
running
scaling.
to Liurnia, please. Rambler grabbing Physic here, probably to get Orblade online, which I like.
Yeah.
Gives you an excuse to grab that Int tier and the Somber 4, so he'll be able to get a +4 here once he decides to run farther into Liurnia.
Mm-hmm. Strump, you're a good enough player. You don't need to decide how to cheat. If you do somehow wrong warp, you have to go back to the previous grace. We've had it happen one time accidentally.
Oh my.
A practice game, not an official game.
Rambler getting really unlucky with that.
I mean,
What?
not really.
What?
It's because Torrent, Torrent, the way Torrent's HP heals is really weird. So Torrent died, but he didn't.
I don't know if I've ever seen that happen.
Yeah, because Torrent had like no health. So like it wasn't the fall that killed Torrent. It was like the little bit of damage. Like it wasn't like an insta death. It was the little bit of damage from Torrent because he didn't get his health back.
Yeah. I'm just taking a look here at the state of the board. We're 3-2. Helios has both Dectus halves. Is making his way to Liurnia. Rambler ahead in Liurnia, getting a weapon set up, but needs to get his Dectus halves. Helios already has 2 horse bosses down. I think kind of has a lead here going into Altus. But Rambler does have a Crimson Medallion, does have an Assassin down, and actually an advantage on Duelists probably, and Catacombs obviously. So not necessarily an uneven race, all things said and done. They have kind of diverged. They're both looking at different things, it seems like.
Well, Rambler's going to get his +4 weapon online first by a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Helios doesn't even really have a weapon yet. Has he even checked Roundtable for Milos?
No, he hasn't yet. I imagine that's what he's going to end up doing here.
Yeah,
If
he
once he
has
sees Halberd check.
He has kind of prep smithing route.
I mean, kind of. He grabbed the ones to make the Knight's calves faster, I
Yeah.
think. It was right there. It was so easy to do.
Yeah.
You're taking a couple seconds of time to make that second fight faster.
Rambler gets int here on the Somber 4 here, and honestly, he might just keep running to grab this Grace here and set up Makar. Because it might be a Makar play for Rambler here.
Yeah, the only...
He has no deck. No, he doesn't. He just has no Dectus, right?
No, but I do think running to Dectus and having that second Black Knife set up is really nice.
Yeah.
I would be willing to take theirs trying to set up Dectus if I could also head that direction. We're just having to run back that way later.
Very fair.
Because that will be his second Catacomb if he goes on to finish it. He'll have 2 of the Crimson, Cerulean, Viridian medallions and 2 Assassins.
And 2 Liurnia bosses because of the shade.
Yep, 2 Liurnia bosses as well. Pretty strong play for him.
That Assassin in that Catacomb does not count as finishing the Catacomb. It has to be the shade.
Yes.
The only Catacomb in the game where there are 2 bosses, and because of the way the lever is, it is very evident that the end boss is the shade. So to finish that Catacomb, you just have to kill the shade. You don't have to kill the Black Knife. You can do shade, no Black Knife, but you cannot do Black Knife, no shade.
And with a +4, I think that Catacomb will be pretty easy. The shade is annoying. It's the one that spawns in with archers around it, skeletal archers. But I think Rambler would be fine there.
Rambler having some decision paralysis here. Goes to 3rd Church. Am I mistaken? Did I see Rambler already has Fort Height?
think you're mistaken. He didn't run down that way as far as I know. I believe Third Church is his closest grace. Not sure what Rambler's planning exactly here. I mean, there's good value in Caelid. I'm trying to think of why you run this way.
Because the Black Knife, honestly, like center square is really good right now, positionally, right? For Rambler, you can threaten row 2 or row 3. You also block the diag and the middle column. Helios is going to do a roundtable check. He'll see sort of Milos.
Alright.
Oh, he's excited about that.
It's alright. So, I guess that's what we're going with. It's a little bad, but
Rambler could be
shouldn't be too.
I think he's just setting up Duelist and Sass Effect Ash of War here.
Yeah.
So I'll get him a horse boss. What else? There is a quick catacomb over at Watchdogs. Not the fastest.
No, he's going for Dragon Barrow, Bell-Bearing Hunter, into Memory of Grace with 50k.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
How much is that? Is it 90k? I don't think it's that much out of him.
It's exactly 50k.
Interesting.
I like it a lot, actually. I do this a lot.
Yeah. That's a devious play. That's sneaky.
I do this a lot. If those two are still on the board, Dragon Barrow, like, he will one-shot you, but, like, he's a Bell-Bearing Hunter, right? Like,
Yep.
the moveset, they're tricky bosses, but once you learn it, they're like riding a bike.
Yeah. It is unfortunate that your one-shot right get eclipsed sucks.
Yeah.
This is also now gonna, if he grabs this Grace, which it's Rambler, oh no. It's definitely faster to get to Fort Faroth from there than from the trap chest. And I don't know if it is from the merchant. Pretty close though. Helios setting up all his flasks and weapons now. He'll be ready to go here. But I cannot wait to see how this goes for Rambler. This would be quite the move. I think Memory of Grace 50k with nothing else will throw Helios off a little, but it's going to be tough to tell where that comes from.
Well, Rambler might just go finish Bell-Bearing Hunters very quickly afterwards.
Yeah, that's true.
He has Stormhill Grace, or the Stormhill Shack Grace, or Warmaster Shack. Nice, so you can jump that grab. It technically counts as a hit. It does 1 damage, but who cares?
I was curious how much damage that grab would do right there.
It's 1.
Interesting.
The only time you might not want to do that jump attack is if you're using like Ritual Sword, Ritual Shield, or of course if you're on a hitless run. But
Yes.
oh,
Rambler playing it close here. Oh. That was risky, but it paid off, so it's not stupid.
No!
Oh no.
Oh, I blinked. I blinked for a second there.
Cannot afford to take your eye off that guy. That is tough for Rambler.
yeah. Helios is doing the same. Is Helios going to do the same thing? I think he is.
Interesting.
Yeah, they both
Be a
have the
good
same
snipe
idea.
for Rambler.
Wait, is that? I can't tell exactly where.
Oh, no.
No. That's. He's going horse bosses. He's scared about the bingo.
All of Caelid looks the exact same. That was tough.
Yeah. Well, also, I have a very small picture that I'm looking at. In my defense.
I mean, I had a bigger picture and I couldn't tell. Nighttime Caelid is all one thing. I mean, if you're a Rambler, I think that's where you want Helios to be blocking.
Yeah, well, this is also
Might
a
lose-
status effect, Ash of War.
Yeah. You might also lose Status Effect Ash of War, which is tough, but this is going to take time.
Yeah. Status effects, Ashes of War, Knights Calves, and Horse Bosses do synergize really well because two
Yep.
Knights Calves that are very easily accessible drop a status effect Ash.
Yep. Then he'll probably just finish up with, I imagine, Tree Scent.
Meat check.
Or-
All right,
okay.
Helios gets it.
And Rambler on attempt 2 here. I've been very impressed with like the accuracy of his poise count.
No!
I've seen him- Oh,
The same attack.
The same attack.
that's tough. Now this is starting to be a problem.
This is a problem.
Rambler's gonna lose quite a lot of time going for this. If he gets it first try, it's a great move.
Yeah, and there's 4 status effect Ashes of War for Helios.
Am I at 4? Yes.
It's a pivot from Rambler.
Yeah,
Got
Rambler,
this.
I think that's gonna put him into a rough spot for the rest of the match
Rambler's in hell.
now. Yeah. Helios is gonna clean up horse bosses here, shutting down that decent, realistically, like early
Yeah.
column 4 threat. Getting 2 squares out of the block, being now like pretty significantly ahead in Altis. He's gonna get there first, even though Rambler's going right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Helios could make the cock, too.
Yep. Get Valiant Gargs, great
The
Ghost
on the
Glove work.
bingo board, the penis.
Oh yeah. And sort of Milo's doing its thing here. Power ones aren't doing a lot of damage, but once this blade comes in, it'll be pretty bad for little Knight's Cav. Meat check and bleed. There goes all the health. I think
Alright.
that's just one more horse boss now.
Yep. Yeah, that's 4 Knights Calves.
Ooh, going for the one at the Knight's Cab at Bellum Church.
Yeah,
Interesting.
because it's a Liurnia boss.
Yep, that makes the most sense.
Yep.
You know you're not racing it, so there's no reason to go hyper optimal on speed. Instead, prioritize synergy. That makes the most sense.
Rambler's going back for the bell ring.
He disappeared in
Hunters.
front of my eyes.
I mean, he does need some
Helios got
squares
trolled
right
by the
now.
Knight's Cap, who literally just disappeared right in front of him because it turned to day.
Just got there in the early morning. Helios needs to be late night. Come on, brother.
If you're fighting him, will he still disappear?
Bob? That's a good question. I would think so.
I have to imagine there's a mechanic that if you've done one, like any damage to him, he can't disappear.
You would hope. No, Rambler. Helios now starting his fight. Look at a halberd check out of this. I can't imagine he's going to pivot out of Sword of Milos anytime soon. But later in the game, you know, it is an option.
Bro, what? Why does he like that move so much?
That does swing pretty hard. Helios will need to stay topped off.
Alright, that's 5 horse bosses for Helios. Oh, in a second.
One more hit. There it is. That is going to be rough for Rambler.
Yeah, Rambler's in hell.
This is...
He's up against it. Especially because he doesn't have any, I mean, you gotta start looking for a threat, right? Like, just have to.
Yeah, I mean, oddly enough, bell-bearing hunters starts moving you in the right direction. Pretty easy to push duelist and tree spirits, maybe. Although tree scent duel is going to be such an easy block for Helios, you probably don't look that way. Getting the middle square helps a little bit, but I don't think you have time to do it anymore if you're Rambler.
Is it row 2? Pray that you somehow win Altus, which like you're not going to, but like from Rambler's perspective, right? Like pray that you somehow win you're somehow ahead on Altus. Tree scent duel, Wormface, squeeze the talismans in there and then go Gargs.
In row 3, yeah. I mean,
like we know Rambler's behind on Altus, but like from our we're just saying from our perspective. From his perspective.
Yeah, if you're him, you probably feel like you're a little bit behind.
Yeah.
Because he's been to Fort Height and most likely to Fort... I mean, he's been to Fort Faroth as well.
Yeah, because Rambler doesn't have like a non-Altus line either that he can take advantage of.
No, he's in a really precarious position here. Because Helios can really form some nasty threats.
I mean, Helios can potentially just bingo, I think, on row 1. Do the Bell-Bearing Hunter and Altus, Noble is an Altus boss, clean up the other Bell-Bearing Hunter.
And that's pretty hard to stop.
And of the 3 lines left for Rambler, none of them are good. Like,
no.
Yeah.
They're too spread out.
Yeah.
I think row 1 has the best synergy left of the bingo options. It's tough. Helios could even push the diagonal with bell-bearing hunters. If he felt so inclined to push into that. Because he still also, like, he has no idea Rambler's done that, right? So he could think I can do 2 black knives, get my daggers, get my catacombs.
I will say it's a testament to how, like, optimized it is now, because I remember last season I'd say, like, you can be behind 3 squares, but any more than 3 squares, like, you're in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like... Man, like even when you're behind 2 squares, sometimes it just feels like you're drowning.
Yeah, it's not bad necessarily in the early game, but 45 minutes in, we're out of that position. So it's like you have set up what you have set up. Your opponent's going to be in a similar position now.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rambler should have maybe skipped Box Needle to get more advantage and Liurnia help himself out. But like it's such an easy square for him to clean up.
I think the Bell-Bearing Hunter's play just really hurt him.
Yeah, if he gets that, he's in a good spot here, right?
Yeah.
And it's
and
just
the Knight's
shot.
Cav horse bosses status effect Ashes of War was like the best thing on the board. And what's crazy is Helios didn't even go for it. Like he didn't synergize anything with the Knight's Cavs outside of the horse bosses. He didn't get any status effect Ashes of War out of it, but he scared Rambler off of it.
Yep. Opened it up for him essentially, right? By sacking some synergy there.
And hell, he's doing a 6 horse boss.
Might as well, dude. They've been treating him well.
Why not kill Tree Scent? What's up, Radon? 8?
Let's get the horse boss counter up for Helios here.
Well, he doesn't have a great weapon, so he could do Tree Scent as a halberd check. And then, you need Radon dead. Guards, right?
Guards.
So that's 7. Then Loretta's a Liurnia boss. That's 8, right? You gotta go to Capital. DTS has to die. That's 9.
Dung Eater's there.
Yeah.
A lot of reason to kill horses.
Yeah.
Which actually a little bit points to why like maybe you're not thinking about it early, because there's a lot of synergy later.
Yeah.
I mean, you could reasonably do Tree Scent Duo and DTS for 5 horse bosses and Mount Elmir bosses if it was still on the board.
Yeah, also with the Heroes rune, he might be able to Memory of Grace here. I don't know the exact count between this guy. Between the boss and the Heroes rune. I think he
Not entirely sure. And Rambler is pushing his second Black Knife now.
Yeah. Well, it's a good synergy play, right? It's a Black Knife,
Yeah.
it's a Cerulean Talisman, and a Catacomb, as well as a Limgrave boss, right?
Yeah, if you're Rambler, this is what you're looking for. You need to start getting a little greedy. You're not going to win now just playing like optimally and doing things right. You need to get either a little lucky in that your opponent kind of has a skill issue, or find where you think the most synergy is and push that aggressively because you need to catch up on squares.
Yeah, also, if this is enough for Memory of Grace with 50k, Tree Scent Duo and Memory of Grace shall see.
Yep. Well.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yep. There's Tree Scent Duo, and I think there will be a Memory of Grace. I think it's it here.
As expected.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be enough. I think it's 12,500. 15.
Alright, Rambler expected it.
This is going to hurt.
Yep.
Trying to sneak 1 level in there, Helios.
Almost 2. Oh, this is gonna hurt for Rambler.
Yep. Down 7-2 with the board shut down. That is a brutal spot to be
Well,
in.
and he really wanted that Memory of Grace of 50k with the Bellbearing Hunter early.
Yeah, that would have been enormously helpful. Now Rambler dealing with the much more annoying Black Knife Assassin. This one's not half injured, so it will jump around, sprint, somehow get out of the way of attacks that you feel like should definitely hit.
And Helios is just gonna pick off early Alta squares. He's gonna go for Worm Face, I think.
Smart.
I mean, hell, he could just go Worm Face, Lightning Ram, Prelate, Noble.
Yep.
I mean, maybe you want to do Noble earlier, right?
And there's the second Black Knife for Rambler. His first square mark in almost 20-30 minutes, I think. That's tough.
Speaking of that Noble square, Stocko, I swear to God it was Stocko. He made me write a Godskin Noble instead of the Godskin Noble in Volcano Manor, because what if someone kills the Godskin Noble on the bridge in the Divine Tower of Liurnia?
I mean, you could.
I said that will never happen. He said, but what if it did? It's never happened.
It's very unlikely. That's a lot of Ronnie's quest to do.
Yeah. Well, you got to do GGG with via Fingerslayer Blade first.
Already a weird play.
Yeah.
Oh my god, another drop.
It was you, Stocko. I swear to God it was you.
Christmas?
Helios doing my
Wait to see
favorite
what it
thing,
is. Must see.
and that is fighting Wormface on Torrent.
Another best wave. Holy shit. That feels
Helios
like
got-
crazy luck. I don't
What?
know.
Cause he quits them, he kills them, then quits out to reset Wormface, so then he can hit him again while he's like this.
Interesting.
Also, he happened to get a random drop from an enemy, and it was Pestglaive.
Definitely not an ideal weapon.
Technically, you could farm for weapons in Bingo, and they would be randomized.
That is certainly a play of all time. Already got the stagger. Actually hitting the R2 right there.
Got a double
my.
hit there. That was either a double hit or a
pretty
hit.
good.
I think that was a double hit
No,
there.
that's pretty good.
It looked like the double
Seems
hit.
pretty
I didn't
good.
see the bleed proc, and
Yeah.
that's worm face. Rambler in absolute agony right now. I don't even know what you do.
He is porked.
This is just the worst spot you could be in right now.
Yeah, this is bad.
You're just behind on Altus. And there's still what? Bell-bearing Hunter, Fire Prelate, Altus bosses. Oh god.
Helios is gonna go Belver. This is Bellbearing Hunters from Helios, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's already at 2 Altus bosses.
Rambler might be able to snipe him on Bell-bearing Hunters here.
I think Rambler's
Nope.
gonna try to
He's
go
still a
Noble
wolf.
just to salvage not getting bingo. Like his Helios' best bingo threats are row 1, column 1, in hell, even the diag. So going Dung Eater here, or not Dung Eater, Noble here is not a bad play.
Yep. I mean, it's tough if you're Rambler. Because realistically, Noble is just not where Helios is going to be. You're going to get it, but I do oftentimes feel if you get down this bad, you need to start playing the what are they doing? But at that point, you know, he's probably doing Altus squares and you're chasing him in Altus. And you're not going to win those, right? So it's really hard to find anything that feels good.
No, I mean, you got to just chase and pray. Right, like...
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, this is one of those games where if it's a practice game, if you're a Rambler, you say, hey, I got my ass beat. Can we run this one back? But
Yep.
it's a league game. You can't do that. So, which like
You
they
never say
happen.
never.
These games happen sometimes, right? Like there are plenty of games where you just like, I don't know, have a bad game, you run it back, and hell, you might even win the one when you run it back. It's just you know, it's a league game. Like, there's something to be said for, like, in the moment, right?
Yeah.
Just seeing, like, on the day who performs, and just played a great game today.
Rambler hitting the patented cage skip.
Yeah. Rambler made some mistakes. Helios played like Helios, and I mean, that's when if Helios is playing like himself, the margin is that tight, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Not gonna lie, I did not.
Not a
expect
lot
to
you can
stagger
do
that
against a
early.
prime
I was
Helios.
Ready to heal.
yeah.
I think Rambler made the right call early of let me set up around the squares that he could go for, so I can tie this up coming out of early game and maybe have some early progression. But then he
Yeah.
lost all of that because of the Bell-bearing Hunter play, which is just, I mean, you're one shot, right? It's a great play.
Yeah.
I think if it pays off, he's in an excellent spot.
It's a
But he
bold
just-
move, Cotton.
Yeah, which I think you need to do to win, right? He could have played safe and like raced Liurnia and done that, but like straight up racing Helios is also not, I think, a spot you necessarily want to be in. He was trying to be smarter, and I think that was the right call. It just didn't pay off.
Yeah. And you gotta say, like, other than, I mean, there was that one death to Darewill, but like, other than that, it's been more or less pretty perfect game from Helios, right?
Yeah.
That was so weird.
So unlucky for Rambler there, getting bounced all the way back.
Yeah, I feel like it's just one of those days. Unfortunate. I know this was one Rambler really wanted to win and felt like he could win. He has never beaten Helios in a league match, but he has beaten him in practice, especially recently. And I know he felt pretty good coming into this one, and just wasn't his day.
Yeah, it's tough. Like the ideas were there, especially early. It just, you know, thin margins. There's some really challenging stuff you can do early in bingo, and usually if you can manage to do it, like for example on some boards rushing this noble really early with a +0 can be an exceptional play.
And also, that's some of the things that like a player like Helios can do to you kind of off aura, right? Like when you're playing someone who you know is really good, just even if you try to avoid it, right? Like subconsciously, you feel more pressure. Like I gotta make a play, whatever, and it can lead to like more mistakes. There's a reason why people make more mistakes when they play good players, right? Like there's a reason why you play bad when you play against a good player. It's the mental pressure as well as the fact that like they force you into bad plays. That's what good players do.
Yeah.
There are a lot of times when like a great player will say like, hey, if he makes this psycho play, like, well, GG's, but like, do it, right?
Yeah. Oh. So risky going into the fire right there.
I'm in hell.
Bro, I'm in hell for Rambler.
I know. I hurt.
This is brutal. Yep, and Helios just has to clean up now.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, any decision he makes is going to be fine because Rambler's in Volcano Manor. Is he running to DTS?
Tree ball, horse boss, horse boss, horse boss, horse boss.
The Infinity Stones of Horse Bosses, dude?
Stones. Yeah. Wait,
Helios on a side quest to kill every horse boss he possibly can justify.
Wait, like, what horse bosses are left in play for Helios after this? There's the Altus Knight's Cav.
Yep.
Regular Tree Sentinel, Loretta, Radon. Don't think there's any others. Dragon Barrow Knight's Cav. Yeah, that one's never dying.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll check in with Helios here as he fights DTS.
I think the biggest worry when you get to DTS, most of us have gotten used to fighting with a +4, is the health bar. And Helios currently blessed with one of the girthier health bars you'll see. Clean start. Like Helios enjoys hugging the shield side, a connoisseur of the proper way to fight DTS. It is allegedly and technically faster to fight him fighting on the club side, but I mean, you can actually get hit when you do that. And the fastest way to do something is to not die while you're doing it.
How many Altus bosses is Helios at?
Wormface, Duo,
Bellbearing Hunter.
Bellbearing Hunters 3. This will be 4.
This will be 4, and then Gillica.
Rambler dying again, voicing some frustration on his end that I just heard. He is not happy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either.
It's 4 bosses Altus.
Yeah, that's 4.
Because we did.
I'll be honest, I don't know if I have it in me to put Rainbow on the big screen again. I don't think I can do it.
It's tough.
My heart hurts.
Bro, it's brutal. You have games like this. I had one against you
Like, these games
weeks
happen,
ago.
yeah.
Like, you just have a game where you play bad, and it really sucks when it happens. This exact thing happened to me. I was losing, maybe not quite as much as Rambler was. It was a little closer, but I went to make Volcano Manor play to try to even it up, and then just died for 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, like, these games happen, right? Like, I don't know. I don't think less of. I don't think anyone should think less of Rambler as a player because of this. It's just
No.
like it fucking happens, right?
It'll probably happen again in the season. There's enough games that, like,
Yeah.
you're just gonna wake up and have a bad day.
Like it'll probably happen to everyone at some point, you know.
I mean, I played a game like this against Chris in Golden Order, but I was just never in it.
And then
I managed to get to 13 to 7.
And then it happened to Chris week 1 against
Yeah, like-
Nartok, right?
And sometimes you end up evening up these games a little bit because your opponent respects you, right?
Yeah.
You
It
get a
happened to
little
Shura last
closer.
week, and then he went out and bingoed Stocko today. Right?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes these things happen, right? I feel like it just it feels like really bad when these games I feel like, what did Rambler just say?
Not sure. He said to tell you something.
I don't know.
Yeah, Rambler is not happy.
Yeah.
Helios is hitting catacombs?
Yeah, Helios is doing the Ariza side tomb catacomb. Because it's a duelist in a catacomb and an Altus boss.
Hey, that is some synergy.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck, that
If only there was
damage.
ritual pots on the board.
I don't think this is synergy I would ever take
I have
advantage
never
of.
done this in
This is an
vanilla,
awful
and I'm
catacomb.
starting to realize why. No way.
And he died.
That's insane.
Yep. You won't see this played in bingo much.
Half, dude.
Not a place you want to be. If anyone's unfamiliar with this, this is the one under DTS.
That's crazy.
You can get there via Spirit Springer by running around. And the way you get through this catacomb, because they all have their own fun puzzles, is there's trap chests that just teleport you. It is not random, as far as I know, so there is a way through, but there's not much reason to learn this.
Ritual
Like, who
pots.
thought
There's
that
two
was
ritual
okay,
pots here.
dude? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But the thing about it is it's duelist catacombs ritual pods, which usually by the time you get to DTS are not reasonably on the board. It obviously can't happen. This is niche bingo knowledge that could end up being very useful in rare instances. In the case of Helios, still respecting his opponent and splitting progress on 2 squares with this, right? Well, not splitting progress,
Yeah.
but synergizing, and you get both.
This is hell.
Losers.
Oh yeah, this is a horrendous catacomb.
Any more? No? Okay.
I believe there's a randomizer setting that also makes it so these teleporters are random. Very
All right,
fun.
Rambler gets Noble down, by the way. Good job, Rambler.
Let's go, Rambler.
Am I going the wrong way? I feel like I'm going the wrong way.
All right, Helios might be lost.
I mean, yeah, he just...
I should know if he's lost. He died again.
He was going for the fancy play, and he's really not pulling it off.
Imagine Helios throws in this catacomb for the next hour and Rambler wins.
Yeah, no, he needs to leave. Smart call,
Yeah.
Helios.
Good job, bud.
That kind of BM in there a little bit with that move.
I don't think it was. I think it was actually smart if he had it routed.
If you
had
knew
it
how to get
routed-
through it, it's actually a good call.
Yeah, if he had it routed, it's a good call. He didn't.
Yeah, but I think I'm going the right way, kind of sold that.
Yeah.
Yeah, much better catacomb up here that we all know our way through that is also an Altus boss. Windham
Yeah, or just go to
Catacombs,
Gillica.
Gillica. I mean, it's crazy as if he's, like, racing these squares, he gets screwed, right? But he's just not. Rambler's had a little too much incidenting. And he's just now making his way into Altus. Which, it's gonna be far too late, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay.
If you're in
Helios is
Rambler's
just gonna
spot
go
here,
for
do you just
Gillica.
start looking at cleaning up as much as you can? You kind of need to be in
Yeah, I mean, you
Altus.
kind of just go for square. Like, I think just go for squares, right?
Yeah.
Just hope that you're sniping. Try to build confidence, right? Like, try to build yourself back up. Mainly
Yeah.
for like the next game too. Like, go and just get some squares. See some squares on the board, right?
Yeah. You kind of want to, at least when I had a game similar to this, it was like halfway through I started playing better, so it still wasn't close. I was like, okay, like, had I not done XYZ early, I had a chance.
Yeah.
So I was playing well for 30, 40 minutes there.
Yeah. And now, okay, I thought he was gonna go fire prelate, but no, maybe looking to go. I mean, he's got a lot of options. Fire prelate, lightning ram,
Yeah.
tree spirits. Those are probably his best three to just clean up this thing efficiently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna go ahead and go for lightning ram.
Easy square, fun square. Something Rambler almost certainly just would never push.
Yeah. And he can get a somber 5 out of it.
This is a good Somber 5 pickup. Also not relevant to this, but there is a... what they're called? One of the lions is over here as well.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Lantum's. Nice to see you. Yeah, my mods are mad at me because I've been streaming earlier, and they're like, we sleep when you stream. Fuck you, buddy.
Helios on his way to being 3-0, which will be the best record in the Golden Order, just from by virtue of having played an extra game, but also scary record early.
Also, it is Jamesy Boy's second birthday today, everybody. My firstborn son.
Aww.
He turned
Happy
two.
birthday, James. What a chill dude.
I tried to give him tuna with treats on top of it, and he would not take it.
Not a tuna guy, eh?
No, not a tuna guy.
Bit of a tragedy.
Alright, Helios is gonna go do lightning ram here.
The most efficient way for him to clean up, like you said. Lightning Ram, Prelate,
Pretty late.
Tree Spirits, or...
Yeah.
I mean, maybe even just clean up Catacombs at this point.
Crimson Cerulean Viridian.
Yeah, there's really no bad options.
Alright, let's go count some sheep.
And Rambler's gonna need every single square, so like, even if you get sniped on 1, 2, 3, you're still not really in danger.
2. Count with us, chat. Count with us. Let's count. 3. 4. 5.
Now, there's a chance of a mismark here.
7.
It's one of the hardest counting portions of in all of bingo.
No FP. Not a good sign.
Surely that's how
8.
Rambler gets back into the game. Please.
Nine.
There was
And
a
finally,
there was a counting mistake in Ballers at one point. Did you
That's
see that
11,
clip?
But, I mean,
I think I have. I've made
Yeah.
that mistake before.
Yeah, Zoodle was like, I need to be very careful about counting these. 1, 2, 4.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh no.
it's fucking hilarious.
I did that in a practice match. We finished it and they're like, you only killed 9. Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
I think he killed 11, so he didn't mismark, but yeah, that was funny.
Always kill an extra one there for good luck.
Yeah,
Just do it.
just in case, yeah.
Catacombs here for...
No, this is fire prelate.
Oh, yep. Grab the grace, surely.
This isn't even the fastest catacomb. Like, it's not. This catacomb's too slow.
What are the three fastest? It would be the one by Tree.
It'd be Duelist, Watchdog, Black Knife.
Yep. It is actually, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you're in Weeping, like, maybe the Shade in Weeping, like...
Yeah. You have Radon,
I mean,
the Shade down there as well.
Yeah, that Shade.
Very fast.
Overall, it's Duelist, Watchdog, Black Knife.
Yeah, especially from, like, an early game start. If we're talking about just three fastest catacombs you could possibly do.
Yeah.
The Cemetery Shade by Radon might be the actual fastest catacomb in terms of just running through it, though.
I mean, the Duelist and the Black Knife are pretty much guarantees. Both those fights are so fast, and the catacombs are so fast, right?
Yep.
The Watchdog is a little bit longer. Like, the catacomb itself is longer.
Yes. Gotta run through a couple hallways,
so it
block
could
some
be,
fire.
Yeah. Maybe it's Duelist. Yeah, it just depends where you are. But I can tell you the answer is never Windham Catacomb. Unless you literally have a Grace inside of it and the lever pulled.
Hey, could happen.
Yeah. I mean, we saw, who was it that was in one of Helios's last matches? I think it was either the ASIM game or the Strump game. Windham Catacomb damn near lost, like, really cost someone the game.
Yeah.
Rambler here is going to fight Altus Margit for the Viridian Talisman.
The correct play.
Also, fun fact, you are allowed to do Margit parries on this guy.
Yes. A classic maneuver.
I've seen it done once before.
I've
seen it done once before.
That is a fucking crazy play.
It's because both players rush Storm, but, like, they couldn't find parry, and there was, like, Godric Nefelli, like, a bunch of, like, in Stormveil synergy. I think it was, like, Godric Nefelli and stuff, and they were like, I'm gonna make the cheeky play, and I'm gonna kill Margit to make sure I get Godric Nefelli. And they both did it, and there was Margit parry, so... Came down to Altus Margit. What the
That'll happen. Rambler fighting in the hole. Not a fun place to be. Oh.
There's Helios doing... of course he was doing well. I was like, he's doing well. I can put him on the big screen.
That about sums up Rambler's game.
Yeah, that's Rambler's beta drive.
Like, that's just...
Fire pre-late.
It's tough. Rambler just said to himself, it's
really
gonna be over soon.
We're on level 60 though.
Poor guy, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess I'll kill tree spirits or something.
It does speak to him just kind of being like, alright, it is what it is. He knows.
Yeah.
He's not, I'm sure he's not happy, but he's not super mad or sad about it. He get like that. It's bingo. It happens.
Yeah. I mean, he knows as well, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has mistakes. Nobody's perfect. I gotta work.
No. Who's your many talents? Singing, however.
I was gonna say being tone deaf is one of them.
Tree spirits to finish it here for Helios.
Yeah.
Come on, Rambler, get center square. Book of War says center square is the strongest square.
No, this is all Rambler's play. This is the Book of War. Rambler is playing coy, right? He intentionally threw this game so that people would underestimate him, so that he will then go 7-1 the rest of the season. Book of War. I mean, honestly though, like, at the end of the day, Rambler said, like, Rambler gave himself 25% odds to win this game. I think he knew that he could win this game.
Yeah.
But he also knew he wasn't the favorite. At the end of the day, like, does losing this game for Rambler, is it the worst thing in the world for, like, his standings and, like, his playoff bid? No, not at all. Right? Like, Helios... I mean,
if you told him he was going to have this game, he'd be like, yeah, let me have it against Helios then. Like...
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, hell, there's a chance Helios can run the table already, right? Like, he's beat like at least in his division, right? Like he beat Strump and he's beaten Rambler, right?
Yeah. Rambler's someone we kind of all expect to maybe make it to playoffs. Someone who's really good. It's hard to guess, but I mean, Rambler's really good. And Strump, someone who has emerged as a dark horse, just an absolute menace.
Yeah. Because like
We'll
there's
have tiebreakers over them, and I would imagine both of them will be at the top of the standings.
There's still like a lot of good players that, you know, that Helios will have to play, but knowing how good Strump is and, you know, Rambler were two of the games that really could have caught Helios out, and he's passed both of them, as well as Asim dearly had him too. Asim's a great player as well.
Yeah. I mean, he's realistically like 4-4 is going to be about where everyone is. Helios is already almost there 3 weeks in. If he goes 1-4 on the rest of his games, there's still, I think, decent odds he makes playoffs.
Well, I know Helios. I know how competitive he is. He's not thinking about making playoffs. He's thinking about running the table.
Yeah.
He's thinking about going 8-0. That's just how he is. Where is he going, by the way?
You know, you're asking a valid question. I think there's not a tree spirit. Is there?
Helios, please tell me you're not. Oh, he's going GG. Why the fuck is he double prepping up 12-5? Helios!
No mercy. Is this the first GGG of Golden Order?
Yes.
We're square in the game. Helios letting it exist. I thought he was over here, and I just was like, there's no way he's doing fucking.
He's double prepping.
Hey, you never know. You could get sniped 7 times in a row, dude.
Dude, if he pivots again and starts prepping something else. I get double prepping, but there's a point where it's like you're up enough. It's like, okay, I can just rush a square, right?
Yeah. Helios, you get sniped 3 times in a row right now. It is 12-8.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
I get it, though. From his perspective, it's like, you know, right? Like,
yeah, never say it's over
I
till
have
it
a
is.
99% chance to win if I rush this square, but if I double prep, I have a 99.9% chance to win, right?
Yep.
So I get it. Helios, you're a bastard.
Hopefully we see Rambler snag another square or 2 right here.
Yeah.
13-6, 13-5 is respectable enough. Yeah, those games happen. I think this game probably could have ended 13-5 here.
Well, Rambler kind of did by going for Noble. Rambler did prolong his suffering.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I like the pride. Don't let yourself get bingoed, man.
Yeah. Rambler is very prideful on that aspect. He's gonna die now, isn't he?
I mean, you put him on the screen.
I know.
So if he does die, this is fully on you. Oh no. Oh no. You know, you can say I commentator curse all you want, but who's with the big screen is much worse. Yeah, I know. That's how I feel too, Who's.
I hurt.
Rambler is so good. It sucks to watch it happen.
It's this.
Bro, Who's is melting down.
I can't.
Rambler is legitimately one of the best bingo players, and like just.
On Rambler.
He's such a nice dude too. It's hard not to cheer for him.
Yeah. I can't do it, right?
No. We're gonna do some scientific testing.
Helios is doing GGG.
GG.
All right, first GG of the Golden Order season. GGG. We got Dragonkin, Soldier of Noxtella, in the way of Helios in his 3-0 start. This dude, not bad for phase 1. Just a regular Dragonkin. But phase 2, not so much. I will let that speak for itself if no one's had the fortune of seeing it.
Yeah, but he's also the lowest scaled dragon. Yeah.
Oh my god, we're not even gonna get to see phase 2.
Yeah,
he said, nah, I don't feel like dealing with it.
He's lower scaled than the Shifa one.
Yes. And this will be it.
Yep, that'll be game.
Good game to Helios,
And
dude.
there it is.
Dominant.
You know what they say?
GG.
What do they say?
The GG, as some might say.
That was tough, man.
Yeah.
It's an okay game.
All right, we will. We will bring Helios in. Welcome in, Helios. Welcome in.
Hello.
Okay, Rambler wants to come in. All right. Hello, welcome in, Rambler.
GG's.
GG's.
Yeah. Good ending though.
I don't know. Helios, good job. You played great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Really nice game from you. Big win, obviously, starting 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so I guess I'll ask what happened. Was it snipes or like?
Well, I died to Margit 6 parries right at the end of the fight. I died to Bok. I mean, demi-human chiefs. Then
Yeah.
I tried. Then I saw that I let it slip. Like I shouldn't have done Bok. I should have done the Knight's Cavalry. Although I don't think I would get it anyway, because I died on Margit, so I didn't have time to do that.
You don't think you'd get it if you? You don't think you'd get it?
I mean, I could get it, but like not dying to Bok, right, or dying to Margit. And you were doing Millicent's Needle, so like I didn't know that you were going to do that. In any case, after that, I tried my best to find a play, and I selected the Bell-Bearing Hunter in Dragon Barrel, and he killed me twice towards the end of the fight.
Okay.
And well, I was behind on everything at that point. Also died a lot to Noble as well.
Why Dragon Barrel?
DTK.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, like, but I was just playing like shit. So, like, the Margit thing was like very sad because he was like below 10%, I think.
Yeah, you
and
ran
that
out of
kinda-
stamina. You didn't have stamina.
Yeah, and I got kind of stuck in myself there. And, well, match from hell happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Happens.
I'm just disappointed that like this wasn't a good game. Like I was looking forward to it, even if I wouldn't get the win. It would be like a good match, but it wasn't. I'm sorry about that.
It's not. I mean, look, you gave it. You tried your best. And, you know, these
Yeah,
things
I was
happen.
looking
It's not
forward
your
to it as
fault,
well.
right?
But, you know, you could just make up for it by beating me in the playoffs. So,
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I mean, you know, like we all know, right? Like for like the viewers at home and stuff. If you guys don't know, like if you don't, I know most of you play, but not all of you, right? Like, I mean, these things happen in practice, and like in a practice match, you just say, "Yo, like, IFF 30 minutes in, like, can we run it back?" Right? It's just,
Yeah.
you know, it's unfortunate, right? In a
Yep.
league match, you can't do that. It sucks, but is what it is, right?
Yeah, no, and like, cool, congrats. Like, you saw the play that I thought was the best play, and you did it, and I just couldn't do it. I was too bad today. It happens. Next time will be different.
Yeah. Well, GG's to you, Helios, by the way. Hell of a start to the season, starting off 3-0 with big wins over ASIM, Strump, and Rambler now. You know, how leave us off on a more positive note. You know, how are you feeling about the season so far? And you know, you feel
Yeah.
how are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling pretty confident. I want to go 8-0. I like
Told you.
any of my opponents could still theoretically steal one off of me, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm gonna go 8-0.
Yeah, I was saying to Ratty was talking about your playoff odds. I was like, I know Helios. He's not thinking about playoffs. He's thinking about going 8-0. But GG's. Great job, guys.
Please become Elden Lord.